The city of Baltimore knows the name Lawrence Smith. He's a man who makes news.
So you do periodic hall walk?
For 21 years, Smith has been a high-profile city schools police officer who's also revered as an 8-time state champion head football coach at Dunbar High School. His most recent state championship came last month. There he is, after the game, with City Schools CEO Dr. Sonia Santelises and Mayor Brandon Scott. Smith certainly makes headlines, but not always for the right reasons.
There was an FBI search at City School headquarters Wednesday.
Project Baltimore in September first reported that Smith, according to sources, was part of an FBI investigation involving payroll irregularities. Through a public records request, we obtained the last 3 years of Smith's overtime forms, which show he earned at least $218,000 in overtime since 2020. The most of any school police officer. When a police officer works extra hours, they fill out an overtime form like this one. The officer includes the reason for the overtime, along with the time, date, and location. This form then goes to multiple supervisors who review it before signing off on it and is paid. But you see, Lawrence Smith is very active on social media, and we found several instances where he claimed to be working overtime, but according to his own posts, it appears he was somewhere else. Take a look at this overtime entry for August 28, 2020. Smith logged his regular shift from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., plus overtime from 4 p.m. to midnight at the Lord Baltimore Hotel COVID site for a total of 16 hours. But on that same morning, August 28th, he uploaded this video to Facebook from a fitness app that tracks activity. His post, titled Morning in Michigan, shows Smith and his wife out for a run. Here they are in Muskegon. We can see their route between 8:09 and 9:23 that morning, when Smith, according to his own timesheet, was working in Baltimore. On this overtime form, dated September 2nd, 2021, Smith says he was working a homicide investigation from 7 p.m. to 11 o'clock that evening. But at 6:54 that same night, he went live on Facebook during a photo shoot with his football team. The video lasted about 19 minutes and ended at 7:13 p.m. Smith even turns the camera. They called us out. Showing himself in the gym as he was logging overtime hours. They called us out. For a homicide investigation. Project Baltimore emailed Smith on January 3rd, asking to speak with him about discrepancies in his overtime paperwork. A few hours later, Sergeant Clyde Boatwright, the FOP union president, called us on behalf of Smith. At first, Sergeant Boatwright agreed to meet with us so we could show him the discrepancies we found. He later canceled that meeting and never rescheduled. But in October, Boatwright did speak with Project Baltimore about the amount of overtime Smith was earning.
What I'll say about Detective Smith is this. He is a unicorn in our police department.
Boatwright said about 5 years ago, Smith took on more responsibility as a liaison to other police departments and custodian
we got good movement
of city school surveillance cameras.
He is one of one. He has a responsibility that no one else in our department has.
According to Boatwright, Smith's role requires him to be on call 24 hours a day. And with Baltimore's crime rate, the overtime adds up.
So if there's a homicide that occurs near a school, there could be footage where a suspect is seen getting away, a getaway car, a getaway driver, and he is the person that will be looking into those types of situations.
But when Boatwright spoke with us in October, we only knew the amount of overtime Smith was earning. Now, we can see the details of where and when he claimed to be working extra hours. In 2021, Smith earned more than $94,000 in overtime. He submitted for 8 hours on August 6th. That day, Smith was tagged in this live Facebook video. There he is in the orange shirt driving a boat on the Chesapeake Bay. You can see it as they approach the Key Bridge. The live video starts at 6:24 p.m. But according to his overtime form, Smith should have been at the Lord Baltimore Hotel working the COVID-19 test site from 4 p.m. to midnight. These are just some of the discrepancies we found in Lawrence Smith's overtime. Coming up in the days ahead, we'll show you why on a couple of occasions it appears he was paid twice for working the same hours. Who was approving this overtime and why wasn't it flagged? That part of the story, Monday. I'm Chris Pabst and this is Project Baltimore.